Hi, you're watching Latin Lover TV. Today I'll be introducing you to Omar Pereira, who is the founder of the Latin band Furia, one of Melbourne's most renowned Latin bands, who is also celebrating their 15th anniversary. Along with Omar, we'll be catching up with his band manager and also his brother, Pablo Pereira. Well, thank you, Pablo and Omar, for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Julie. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure for me too, to be with you this morning.
So let's begin by finding out where you're actually from in South America.
We are original from El Salvador, San Salvador, the capital city.
Either of you involved in bands or Latin entertainment back in El Salvador?
Not in El Salvador. The main influence of my backgrounds come from my dad, because he's a musician.
That's right. Dad used to have a quartet called Santa Maria in his young days.
Okay.
And he was a guitar player.
Okay.
And, everything started from there. We used to have a lot of fun with him, going on the guitar, and Omar was singing along with him, and that's where everything starts.
So you were actually singing in the band back in El Salvador?
Yes, with my dad, yes.
Okay. How old were you back then doing?
4 years.
Okay.
4 years old.
So you started when you were 4?
Yes, and yes, I started to do it in front of the public. And
Omar, let's begin with how the band actually came about and where it all started.
so Furia started more in 1993.
Okay, yeah.
And to try to do something different for all the Latin market in Australia. And I started to create a merengue band.
Okay.
And we start in 1993 now. We got 15 years.
That's right. You've got your anniversary, which is coming up. That's
yes.
right, yep. So what's your involvement with Furia? How did you come into the picture and when did you come into the band coming together?
Even though I saw the passion that my father put to the whole family with my brothers, I was probably the only one who didn't pick up the talent. But I got Omar in there. He was always next to him, singing and doing all these natural things that become natural for him. When he started in Melbourne as a band, he put a band together, a merengue band, which was unusual then because it was mainly salsa those days. It was cumbia happening around the world, but he got into the merengue thing, and I thought he invited me. One day he invited me to a big party at the Moorabbin Town Hall with 5 bands, and I thought this is something good in here. So then I got fired up, and I made a proposition to him that he would allow me to manage his band, and he couldn't concentrate on the technical part of it, the musical part of it, and then everything started from there. And but going back in 1993, as he said, 15 years later, then here we are. The journey has been fantastic for Furia.
So let me ask you, Omar, back then, how was it really difficult to put this style of community level band together when the market was still very small? There probably weren't too many Latin clubs around. Was it hard to get started, to get the acceptance of people to welcome you?
Yes, because we start normally with our Latin American community that is not so big, and then when we moved into the Australian Anglo marketing, the marketing was too big, and take a lot of time to try to show to the people our music, and
But here you are today celebrating your 15th anniversary, so it's been a long journey.
Yes, because now the people accepted our music and our culture, and this I think is this day.
Time to move forward.
That's right.
Exactly.
It's been terrific. I can remember vividly where Furia started to play just small community parties here and there, and then they move on to a regular gig. If you remember the Bull Ring.
Yes, the infamous Bull Ring.
Yeah. And then he was playing there along other very good bands in there on a regular basis. And then they move on to, let's say, a different crowd. They went into the Crown Casino and they performed there for the first 16 months. And since those times, Furia in those days they become very popular. People accepted their product.
Yes.
You know, they were very popular around Australia. They were going back and forwards to Sydney, and they were in Adelaide, they've been in Perth twice, almost in every state. They're still doing a lot of those regular gigs there.
And you've got a huge fan base. I mean, you're following for your music. When I've seen you on stage, the crowds that come to dance and merengue is strong followers. So that's really good to see. I might ask you, where do you actually take your repertoire for music? Which artists have you looked at to influence your album, for instance?
My main influence was from the Dominican Republic, one of the biggest artists in this country. I call him the king of the merengue music, is Mr. Johnny Ventura.
Oh yes.
This is my main influence. And then come Los Hermanos Rosario, Wilfrido Vargas, and so many others. Merengue bands from this country, and now this is my main influence. And then moved to Puerto Rico, some bands from South America as well. From 1999.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, is when we start to be more stronger. Yes. Yeah. And I have a remarkable times, you know, that are a funny.
What are those times? Because there's always stories behind time.
Yes.
That was the most amazing performance. And
who was performing at the Next Blue?
Okay, yes, I remember the Next Blue. Yes.
Yes, we live a beautiful experience there with our fans. You know, some of the girls was taking off the James strings and take it off. Some of them.
Hello, were you there?
I was. I'm glad that I wasn't on the stage, let me tell you. Catching up all these souvenirs. But no, it's true what Oma says. I think for me, 1999 probably was the trigger of not only Furia, but the big Latin band in Melbourne. There was a big demand to have a band in private functions, festivals, and all that sort of stuff. We made the best of that time, I suppose. When I say we, as a manager, I had a lot of opportunities to plug the band onto big things, big crowds and stuff, and that's where Furia becomes really strong. You know how they offer in their product. I think one of the mainstays for Furia is the entertainment value. That they go for the crowds, they involve the crowd in, and that's how they become very, very popular among all ages. So the answer is, between 1999 to 2005, I saw a big increase on the demand for a big band. So Furia, there was sometimes they play 5 gigs a week, and for a 14-piece band, that's remarkable.
Exactly.
It was really, really remarkable.
I get on the stage here, imagine 5,000 people in front of us. So he's gonna teach us how to do
3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 on the right, 2 on the bottom. Okay, shake. And now.
Well, I can't believe you made me dance the gorilla dance. I feel awkward when I dance.
It's amazing. You are beautiful. Man, you can do it.
Julie?
That's right.
Omar, I've got to ask you, how did you convince your children on stage to dance the gorilla?
This is coming natural. This is part of the show. You know,
It's an absolute pleasure sitting with you both. Thank you, Omar, and thank you, Pablo, for meeting up with us today and for the gorilla dance. I don't think I'll forget that. Now, if you'd like to find out where Furia is playing around Melbourne or interstate, remember to log on to latinlover.com.au onto our gig guide page, and there you'll find information on Furia. So thank you, boys, and hope to see you on stage again.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. It's been terrific, and this is going to be the beginning of many more to come, I'm sure.
Look forward to it then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.